Alright guys, welcome back to Tech Insights with Dylan White. It is Wednesday, January 24th, and we are going to dive into another series on getting certified in 30 days or less. In the previous video, we covered the Microsoft developer certification discounts, and the cert that we're going to go for this time is another cert that's sponsored by my company, but it is also part of the developer program in which you can get the certification for half off. So hopefully some of you guys want to join me. It's a 30-day journey. And when we catch up on the other side, we're going to talk about everything about Microsoft SC400, information protection and governance. I'm super excited to talk to you guys about it. It's one of those certifications that I think is very applicable and help professionals pivot from other areas of business lines and get into IT and get into cyber. So I'm super excited about it. Let's talk about it on the other side. See you guys over there. All right, guys, welcome back. Let's dive into what's all going to be covered on the Microsoft SC400 exam, information protection and governance. So the exam topics, as you can see right here, right hand side, is going to be to cover implement information protection, implement DLP, otherwise known as data loss prevention, implement data lifecycle management and records management, monitor and investigate data and activities by using Microsoft Purview, manage insider risk and privacy in Microsoft 365. So this exam is going to cover everything in the Microsoft 365, Power Platform, and Dynamics 365, and it's also going to include some onboarding with Microsoft Defender and a little bit of Defender for cloud apps. It's not really going to dive into any of the data protection on the Azure side. That's all mostly covered in the Azure security exams. So who's this exam fit for? This exam is fit for a lot of different people looking to pivot. To be honest with you, but some of the roles I put over there on the side are cybersecurity analyst, of course, finance analyst. I think finance and fintech is one of the roles that can really do well from pivoting and using the cert. Obviously, data security, infosec, banking professionals all goes hand in hand with the finance team, credit analysts, asset managers. I think asset management is huge, but I definitely think it's something that can be leveraged into security using a tool like Purview. Desktop support, techs, and user support all goes hand in hand. You want to elevate and you want to pivot your career into something else, and you want to go into cybersecurity. This could be a way in. Legal and compliance professionals. There's a bunch of different modules in Microsoft Purview, all towards compliance and all towards the legal side. So doing investigations, etc., all goes kind of hand in hand with legal tech. And then business analyst. All those roles, I think, will have a very well-rounded fit into the Microsoft Purview ecosystem, and the certification will help you pivot there. I personally know a lot of companies are looking to use Microsoft Purview and looking to launch Purview into their organizations. So I think it's something that's going to be around for a long time. It's going to go hand in hand with a lot of the Microsoft security ecosystem. So let's take a quick look at the exam topics, and then we'll dive into a little bit of the practice exam, probably do about 5 questions. Let's see. All right, guys, so let's take a look at this exam topic. SC400, we're going to break down the exam's overview page. Right, so you should have experience with 365 apps, Exchange Online, SharePoint, OneDrive, Teams, and also have a little familiarity with PowerShell. It has a great study guide, right? You can take a look at that here in just a second. I recommend everybody to look at all the study guides whenever they sit for a Microsoft exam. It's got where I can schedule exam and a free practice assessment. Always try to take a free practice assessment. I'll let you know where you're at. But let's talk about the actual exam itself, right? So it was last updated back in August. And it covers 25 to 30% is on information protection, 15 to 20% is on implementing DLP, 10 to 15% on data lifecycle and records management, 15 to 20% is going to be all about monitor and investigate data and activities using Purview, and then 15 to 20% about insider risk. And also cool, Microsoft has these Microsoft Learn modules where you can dive right in to each of them, right? That's going to cover those topics that they talked about above. So I have those modules. They'll be in a collection, and they'll be in a link down in the show notes. But let's hop into the study guide real quick and just walk you guys through what that looks like. I really enjoy the study guide. You can see the change log from last time they updated the test. You can also go down and see straight away to the audience profile, another blurb about the percentages. Right? But it talks about what's going to be covered in in each section, right? So manage sensitive info types, manage trainable classifiers, manage sensitivity labels, encryption, all right, yada, yada, yada. You guys can get the gist, but talk about each and every aspect that you should be able to do. So I've seen some people do that's really cool. You'll see other people all over Twitter and on social media that talks about different ways that they study, but some people will take each one of these lines and create an Excel sheet and then go do the work and then come back and make sure they check it all off. I think that's really cool. Let's hop in. Let's see, answer maybe 3 or 4 questions real quick and see what it's looking like. All right, so you click on the free assessment. All right, so let's read off these probably 3 questions. So you have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription. You can manually update the default assessment for M365 Data Protection Baseline and Compliance Manager. What should you do first? All right, so activate Compliance Manager Data Connector, add a new service to the assessment, download a zip file from the Purview Compliance Portal, or download an Excel file from the Microsoft Compliance Profile. So we need to manually update the default. So if we're going to manually update, my guess is we're going to either activate Compliance Manager Data Connector or download an Excel file. What should we do first? My guess is probably download the Excel file. I don't know. All right, and then what I really like about Microsoft exams and practice assessment is it gives you all the different answers. It gives you where you can go find the material. Feel free to read up on that. All right, so let's look at this one. You have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription, 2 Compliance Manager alert policies, and Policy 1, Policy 2. The Compliance Manager alert policies are triggered at the following times. Policy 1, 8 a.m. Policy 2, 8 a.m. 4 seconds. Policy 2, 8 a.m. 25 seconds. Policy 1, 8 a.m. 35 seconds. Policy 1, 8 a.m. blah, blah. All right, so basically it's asking, is it individual alerts or are they combined alerts? So let's go through this. Honestly, don't know. So it's either going to be, 6 or 3, because you have, 1, 2, 3 for each. It's going to combine them into one. There's 2 of them. 1 alert. I'm going to go with 6. It's individual alerts. I don't know. 2. Just going to smash them. So just 1 alert for each policy. So all because they're in the same minute. So what I really like there is it gives you the information. You can look and see alerts and alert policies right in Microsoft Learn. All right, let's do one more. All right, plan to use Microsoft Purview for e-discovery in your organization. Right, considering whether to use e-discovery standard or premium. Right, which feature requires use of e-discovery premium? So let's make sure you understand licensing. Which feature would you identify? Legal hold, content locations on legal hold, role-based permissions, or case management. My guess is it's going to be case management because all the rest sound unfamiliar. But let's see. Legal hold notifications. So everything else is part of standard. That's all it means. So overall, you see practice assessments are super useful. Overall, hopefully you found this intro to the SC400 exam was useful, and hopefully you guys want to learn more. If you guys want to learn more, I'll have a link to an X-Space I'm hosting on Friday to kind of dive into this more and how I've seen it used in consulting and used in organizations around the globe. So hopefully see you guys there Friday or Saturday. I'll let you guys know probably tomorrow morning what time it'll actually be. So once again, thank you guys for joining. Like button, subscribe for more content. Alright guys, hopefully you liked that video on the SC400 exam. What it covers, as I said, over the next 30 days-ish. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. I'll be working to get that cert. Hopefully some of you guys want to go with me. We'll start studying for it off and on, and hopefully sit for it sometime mid next month before I sit for the GitHub Foundations exam. As I've done lately, I have a quote from Harry Potter. You guys probably guessed by now is one of my favorite series of all time. This quote, I think, goes with a lot of things I've been seeing lately around the media itself. Please don't read too much into it. I'm not a media anarchist. I just like to say what I think. Everybody's got an angle. And so this quote comes from Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. It's all around daily profit, right? So it starts with Hermione, right, saying, "You mean profit won't print it because Fudge won't let him," right? And obviously Fudge was leaning really hard, and then Rita comes back and says, "All right, Fudge is leaning on profit, but comes to the same thing. They won't print a story that shows Harry in a good light. Nobody wants to read it. It's against the public mood. The last Azkaban breakout's got people quite worried enough. People just don't want to believe you know who's back." And then Hermione repeats, "So the daily profit exists to tell people what they want to hear, does it?" Rita says, "And the profit exists to sell itself, you silly girl," right? Obviously, what it means is the media is just around just to sell yourself, right? That's literally what everybody does all day long. You try to sell yourself, so whatever you're doing, um, we all have goals, and then they put food on the plate and feed our families. Everybody's got an angle. I just try to remind people to listen to what your gut tells you and listen to what you think. Um, Try to service other people. So I do by running this YouTube. So I do by trying to tell people about the exam, how to pivot. So hopefully I'm doing some sort of self-service back to you guys and aspirations of helping people get a career in tech that they might not have heard about before. So once again, thank you guys. All your likes and subscribes, all your comments on socials. It's great. Helps me keep going. So once again, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night and see you guys Friday.